people, how are you all? I hope you are doing great. Well, are you wondering why the new background? Well, because we have achieved first milestone of Books This Week segment. This is part 10th and we are a strong family of 700 plus subscribers. Yes, thanks to you all for joining me on this journey and kudos to many more milestones of Books This Week segment. Well, people who have been here before, welcome back, and people who are new, welcome. This is Mansi from Readers and Creators. So the first book today is Naipauls in Neupal Street, a memoir. Now you all might be familiar with V.S. Naipaul, a very renowned name in English literature. But this book, a memoir written by his sister Savi Naipal Akal, gives a life narrative of diasporic family which has given stars to literature at a cost of silencing humane and ordinary members of the family. The memoir talks about life at Trinidad, at that time it was a British colony, from an Indo-Trinidadian sensibility. It also bursts the myriads of myths about V.S. Naipaul and why he told them to create a sympathetic side for him among people. So this book will bust those myths, and it talks about how Vidya Naipal, that is V.S. Naipaul, got detached from family later on in life, and how Shiva Naipal, the other brother, died at mere age of 44, and it was a devastating and heartbreaking turn for the family. How Naipal's mother, when she was on her deathbed, she said she has only one son, and even Sabi herself said that one brother has a very moral and polite side to him, but the other one doesn't. So it is like moving into the Kalesh of anyone's family, but because V.S. Naipaul is a big name, so I want to know about this Kalesh. Next book is Blue Ruin by Hari Kunjru. It's a fictional and its subgenre is art. So Hari Kunjru is known for writing about the stink of wealth and the divide it creates between people. So he is known for writing the comparative and contrasting viewpoint among wealthy and poor, and this book has the same plotline. So there's a narrator, Jay. He is delivering groceries in a rundown car, which is also his home. So he came across Alice, his ex-girlfriend from college days, when he was delivering groceries to one house, isolated pod during COVID times. Now 20 years earlier, when Jay was doing an art course in university, his first and closest friend, Rob, was a wealthy and confident man. While at the same time, Jay was very self-conscious about his art, about what he drew, about what he created, and he was always in a dubious nature about that. Alice met them later on, and gradually Jay and Alice become lovers. But now, 20 years later, what he sees is Alice is married to Rob. This description I liked very much, that he said that like narrator said that he is wearing a torn and stinky t-shirt with shriveled hair, while the girl Alice, who walks to receive the groceries, she is very plump and glowing, and that glow comes from yoga, massage and juice. So yeah, that's a very, very vivid description of what wealth and poverty means. Author so brilliantly portrayed the 90s Britain art and how artists were sitting over the drains or stinky things, and they were drawing something in that stink. But later on, when wealthy people see those art pieces, they are like, it's bold and it's attractive and it showcases this side of society, and so it's also in some way a dark satire. Yeah, this book sounds interesting. Next book is Who is Equal, written by Saurabh Kirpal. It's a non-fiction about equality and laws. Now Saurabh Kirpal is a former Supreme Court lawyer, and he wrote this book from a philosophical and practical point of view about laws. The Constitution, when it was introduced in 1950, there were words like equality, justice and liberty. But the author argues that even after decades of that constitution being introduced, we are struggling with inequality. He discusses the intersection of equality and inequality in India and talks about its retrospective and contemporary sides. next book is for all the horror and paranormal readers. The Devil's Teacups and Other Ghost Stories, written in Bengali by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay and translated in English by Prasoon Roy. It is an anthology of stories, but all the stories revolves around haunted atmosphere with airy objects. Airy objects like phantom bats, haunted teacups, dark forest, ancestral home, abandoned places, all the typical horror stuff. But author so tremendously connected a link between abandoned furniture and forgotten folklore. Amazingly weird. So yeah, all the stories have that same plotline. It ends on very uneventful end. So be ready for that. I have already warned you. I'm not a fan of horror, so I'm not going to read it. But if you love it, just go and read it. Last book of the segment is a non-fiction, art and culture, Mithila Art, also known as Madhubani painting, which is a very, very famous art from northern Bihar, India. And this book is a comprehensive research of that art and its history and how people are loving it and how it is perceived, everything. So there are interviews from artists, amateurs, and even the art enthusiasts. This is research and interviews and a commentary, critique, and analysis of Mithila art, that is Madhubani painting. Okay, so that was that. 5 books for this segment. I hope you are liking these segments. Just let me know by commenting, please. Till then, keep reading, be happy, be safe, and yeah, first milestone. Bye bye.